Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Johns and I'm going to be doing my presentation for our topic analysis in our Culture and Media course. And the subject that I chose to research is in the fitness world. And the reason that I chose this is because my primary background is actually in personal training and group fitness. So I felt like this would be a good subject for me to research. Especially because since I did start out in 2005, that was before the big kind of like surge of online fitness, and my background does come from a more traditional big box corporate in-person training model. And so I have had a different experience coming from that standpoint as opposed to more online training. And also I just wanted to apologize up front. I'm getting over a little bit of a cold and so I'm not feeling 100%. So we'll just do the best that we can. So as far as the title of my paper, it is called The Influence of the Internet in the Fitness World. And for my introduction, I just started out saying that online fitness training really has exploded in the last decade with the overwhelming development of programs, apps, and social media. Has technology taken away from the personal connection of in-person training? Or has this technological boom in the fitness industry become more effective and beneficial? And lastly, how has this affected the industry and what can we expect for the future? So Laura Williams, she is an ACSM certified personal trainer. She shares some of the advancements regarding online training. Online training is one of the fastest growing segments of the fitness industry. In fact, according to Flurry Insights, health and fitness apps surged 330% between 2014 and 2017. And the app category grew 9% between 2016 and 2017. In more tangible terms, a 2015 study performed by researchers at the New York University School of Medicine found that more than half of all smartphone users had downloaded a fitness or health app. So these numbers really are staggering, and the projected growth and infusion of technology with online training will really only continue to skyrocket. There are so many options, varieties, and ways that our society can access online programs and apps. In the Introduction to Mass Communication, 11th edition, Barron states, smartphones make connecting to the internet already an anytime, anywhere activity thanks to laptops and tablets. They're even more convenient. There's no need to search for a site or use a browser because an app on your smartphone will take you directly to its designated content. Today, 90% of all American households own at least one smartphone. So that's just a huge number and a huge surge as far as convenience and the way that people are choosing to find things, not only shopping, but especially also in the fitness industry when it comes to nutrition and online programs. The convenience factor alone has been a driving force for individuals opting out of in-person training versus online training. Statistically, online training is more affordable. And in this day and age, budgeting, time, and finance has become more dominant with increased activity and full schedules. Another factor is how many choices there are online now. No longer do you have to choose from the classes that come from a gym membership, but with just the click of a button, a whole range and variety from mat Pilates to bodybuilding are available. The possibility to try new things are endless, and that is one of the great benefits when it comes to budgeting and time. You know, we have so many things going on in our life these days that when there is an option for convenience, and not only convenience, but it fits within your budget, that's a very compelling thing to draw you towards that, as well as if you have an interest in trying something new. Because whenever you are passionate about something and find something that you love, the chances for you to stick with it just are exponentially greater. So if you are also doing an online training option, you can work out from anywhere. So that's very handy and convenient. You're not locked to a specific building or a specific time if you're meeting with a trainer. And one of the other last things is when you are using an app, sometimes as opposed to you or your personal trainer tracking your progress for you, the app can do it. That's a very handy and efficient tool to use. This can be a great game changer for athletes and professional trainers to be able to track the progress of the athlete when it comes to specific numbers. That's a very important and scientific advancement that's going to help them just increase performance. So another statistic that gives data over the benefits of using fitness apps is a survey study that was conducted among 717 runners. 57% of them used a running app support that helped track their activity and their mileage and everything that they were, as far as like the wear and tear and the impact of their body and what was going on. That app was able to track that for them. And the results demonstrate that these users are more achievement oriented to be able to see that result in those statistics right away, especially regarding the achievement of personal goals. So even though online training is very convenient and beneficial in so many ways, there really is nothing like having a face-to-face interaction, accountability, encouragement, connection with a fitness professional. And the reason that I can speak on this is because of what I've done for most of my adult life, and just wanting to share a little bit from that standpoint of coming from the background of being more in a face-to-face personal training setting. There is just nothing that can be as beneficial and effective as when a professional is able to see what that client is actually doing in real time. When I would watch their form, when I see that they're struggling, I would be able to give them a word of encouragement, help push and motivate them, or also correct their form. And sometimes you can't really do that if you're working with an online program, because it's catering more to the masses as opposed to an individual program. And if you are going more for an individual program, it's going to be a little bit more costly, but can also be so much more effective. So it just really depends on what you're wanting to go for and what fitness goals that you have. But no matter what, there is nothing that can replace in-person training. Even doing a Google Meet or something that's kind of a connection through technology, that's definitely a benefit and can be helpful, but it still doesn't replace face-to-face. So anyway, as far as one of like the downsides and the cons to some of the online training options and apps, that's going to be the biggest one, that nothing really can replace that at this point in time. So one of the things that's important to remember if you're trying to choose between online training and in-person training is knowing where you're at and what you're wanting to accomplish as far as your goals, and especially if you might have some injuries or some pre-existing conditions. Working with a professional in person is going to be helpful because they're going to be able to tailor and look at that injury specifically. And again, online and doing Google Meets can help, but there still is nothing like face-to-face interaction. So to kind of go along with that, the Lord, He did create us to walk with each other, to lift each other up, and to help each other when we need it most. There is power and tremendous benefit to having accountability with each other and walking in community. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12 says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other, but pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if two lie down together, they will keep warm. but how can they keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Ecclesiastes 4:9-12. And that just really emphasizes the power of, when we're together and walking in community together, there is just something that is so powerful, and that we're created that way to walk with each other. So one of the big points that I really wanted to touch on when I was researching is the effects of COVID. It's had a mass global effect, and technology and online has had a tremendous surge, and the fitness industry is no different, because all gyms during the pandemic have had, when we had our lockdown, they got shut down and turned to online training in a whole new way. So several big box gyms and private studios, they had to close their doors permanently. They had to try to scramble and reconfigure and adapt and comply with CDC regulations. And like I said, this really did open the floodgates to online training. The COVID-19 pandemic has had a negative impact on small businesses, and business failure, has been exponential at this point, with several sectors of the economy adopting digital transformation initiatives to deal with the pandemic. We consider digital resilience in the market for fitness clubs and gyms. The traditional economics of the fitness industry made them less vulnerable to digital disruption pre-pandemic. The pandemic also shifted patterns of human mobility, where gyms operating mobile were suddenly negatively impacted by digital substitution. So basically, in essence, what that's saying is just for me, is the fact that the pandemic has just put a stake in the ground as far as online fitness and the industry and where it's going for the future. 46% of survey participants stated that they intended to make virtual classes a regular part of their routine after this pandemic, even after studios reopen, which has been starting to happen. A third of consumers also stated that they plan to visit more studios after trying new workouts virtually, and that 40% of consumers are booking workouts with studios they've never physically visited before, allowing businesses to reach digital-first clients. So that's another benefit of it. And in conclusion, the fitness industry has evolved tremendously since the time that I started in 2015. It's undeniable. No longer can fitness professionals rely on traditional models of marketing and business development. Gym owners, trainers, coaches, nutritionists, and fitness experts have had to continue adjusting to the technological advancements within the industry. As personal and effective that face-to-face training and coaching is, the wave and influence of online training, social media, and fitness and nutrition apps are becoming more and more concrete and a staple within our society. The pandemic of COVID-19 has only solidified this even more. And while the lack of face-to-face interaction will be present, the health and well-being of our society, family, and loved ones can know that the fitness industry will be an ever-present force, continuing to evolve for many years to come. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you have a blessed day, and we'll see you later. Bye.